now then. So I will say I've recorded this after the event, but this video is basically just to demonstrate how to replace this, which is your, I believe, your clutch pressure plate. I thought I'd record it after the fact just so I could purely talk through what you're going to need. So first of all, one, you're going to need a new clutch pressure plate from Paul Simmons on the group. I'm sure lots of you have seen posts about replacing them due to damage caused to the clutch basket. Anyway, I fitted that already. So what I did first of all, I marked this with a paint pen, the clutch lever on the gearbox and whatever, clutch basket, whatever it is, don't know the technical term. Purely so when I put it back together I knew exactly where it sat. Realistically, in hindsight, I shouldn't have worried too much about that. I probably should have just adjusted them on here. Anyway, other than that, what you're going to need is you're going to need 8 mils to get all of the housing bolts out. Further to that, you're going to need new gaskets for crankcase, clutch case. I will put a link in the post of where I got them from if you're in the UK. I think it was about £30. You're going to need a 10 mil for the actual bolts that hold in the clutch pressure plate. You're also going to need a torque wrench which goes down to 10 mil. Otherwise you ain't going to get the job done correctly. There is technical data which Paul Simmons sent me across via Facebook for a sequence of tightening these bolts. I'll put that in the post. You're going to need an Allen key to get this off. The only tricky part is actually removing and refitting this clutch case. There is a shaft within this which sits on the, I'm going to call it a clutch pulley, which pulls and engages the clutch. This, when you remove it, you'll see when you remove it, it will pull itself to the left as it actually comes off that, otherwise you won't get the housing off. It's pretty straightforward. I'll put it in the video anyway. I struggled with it, so I've done this video purely to show that it ain't as difficult as you think. What else have we got? I think that's about it really. It's really straightforward. I will put in the post, this is before I've taken it for a test ride. I will put on the post about how that went. I think we're going to go alright. I've also took photos of the damage to the clutch basket caused by the springs from standard. About 7,000 miles on this, so there's a bit of damage. Not too much, nothing to excessively worry about. Other than that, if the video's a bit messy, I do apologise, we've never done it like this before. Hopefully it's straightforward enough for you to follow, to do this job yourself, to extend the life of the engine in this bike. Right, a couple of people have asked for a video on fitting the modified clutch plate from Simo. So I'm going to try and do it in one take because apparently it's easy and people have been asking the questions when they've been posting how easy it is. So let's go. Obviously I've got to take off these GB racing covers, which is not part of it. But what I've done is I've dug out the original bolts so I can put it back together with the new gaskets without the GB racing covers so I can follow the procedure as such, torque wise, for these bolts. I've marked the bracket here on the clutch lever. I've paint marked it so that when we put it back together, it can go back together, you know, as exact. Like I said, this video I'll try and do it in a one take so that you can see how long it takes. What time are we on? So the time is 14:03. Whether that focuses or not, I don't know. We'll see what time we get done. This bolt's got to come all the way out to get it off. To get it over the splines, I'm hoping that the paint marker stays on it. Yep. Just going to pop that bolt back in there so we don't lose it. It's got to come off anyway, that bracket. I think the 10 mils. Smaller than 10. Let's go 8. Give 8 a go. Yeah. So these are only torqued 10 mil from factory, so this shouldn't be too tight. Made a mess with a paint pen. For some reason, it just wanted to shit itself all over the engine casing when I marked the clutch lever bit. I've just left it on the side stand because apparently you don't lose any oil when you do this, but you especially won't lose any oil when it's on the side stand. Let's find a new place for this now. I might actually need to put this back onto here. From what I've read, to get this on and off, this actual engine housing case, you have to rotate the clutch thing. If I'm honest with you, I think it's just come out. Right, we'll deal with that. We shall deal with that nearer the time. This is why I'm trying to do it. There's a bit of a one take, so the mistakes that I make, you won't. Came off pretty easy. You're losing a tiny bit of oil, not a lot though. This is what I'm a little bit concerned about, because apparently you have to move this a little bit to get it off. In fact, I've missed a bolt, so we'll get that last bolt. I'm still missing. See, this is a mistake that I'll be doing and you won't. There's another bolt just here, which obviously would have made perfect sense as the reason why you've got to remove the crankcase first. Got it? Right. So it's dead loose now. Oh yeah, dripping a bit of oil. Just get a cloth. So yeah, you will lose a bit of oil, obviously. Although I was told you won't lose any. Right, pulling it off now. I see that the arm move. It looks like when it goes back together, you'd have to get this bottom half out. This side out first a little bit and give it a slide. Right, engine casing's out. Just get the gasket out. So this plate here, apparently on the back side of it, we'll compare them when we get them out, the springs do not sit well within them, which makes them expand when you're riding, and it actually marks the clutch basket. There's quite a few people that have had them changed at 1400 miles and it still marks. So what we'll do is we'll get it off and we'll have a look, see how bad it is. It's 10mm. And I'll also do it up bit by bit and then torque it at the end. It's not quite ready to come out. That one is. I believe that one maybe. No, they're right on the edge of coming out. Right, that's out. That's out. Hold it together. And that is out. Alright. I see the difference. Right, let me get these springs out and I'll have a look at the damage. Ooh, there's some markings. For sure. Just gonna put these springs back the way I got them out. Definitely some markings. Let me get my phone, take some photos for you. Pretty bad. Not the end of the world though. See, I've got about 7,500 miles on this. Right, let's get these bolts out. We'll see the difference between the machined one. So this is the original one, original spring. Sits over this recess. Doesn't sit flush. So that's the new one. That's the old one. Obviously, what you can see, these recesses, what hold the springs, are a lot bigger. So that the spring, which I will demonstrate, actually sits perfect over it. Like, it's so steady. So when it's spinning in there, it's not going to mark the edge. You can even see on the spring where it's been marking it. And that one came from there, that one came from there. So let's fit this Simo clutch plate. Try and get the springs to sit in it and hold it so I don't have to faff about. That's it. Pressure plate, 10 Newton meters. Right, let's do it bit by bit so it goes in nice and evenly. whether this is the correct way of doing it. Right, that's tight. Gosh, 10 millimeters. I'm going to pause the recording. I'm going to clean up the gaskets off the surface. I literally spent more time doing that, cleaning, than everywhere else. Right, we'll go for the tricky part, which I believe is getting the clutch housing back on. So, let me just get her on. Right, gasket is on. So from what I've read, as long as you get this part inside, hopefully it focuses, this part and a notch out, lined up with this part, I think you're good to go. So what I think the trick is this. Move it like so. So you've got the opening there. And let's try first time. First time's not gone as planned. She's on. It feels like the clutch should engage. Made the photos. So this one, if you can tell on there, so we need to go 1 through to 12 in a certain pattern, 1 at the top, 2, 3, 4 and so forth. Once you've done all that, retighten 1 and 2 to 10 millimeters. So let's get that done. 10 millimeters each one. The 11 and 12 are the clutch lever ones. Just getting rid of any slack that we've got in the clutch lever. We may have to adjust this, but if I can get this bolted up without faffing with it, I'll be laughing. Don't think I will though. I'm going to take this off again. Let's take it off. That's off. Put that in. Right, that is the paint lined up. So 11 and 12 is left first, 12 is the right one. So let's get that done up. I'll try and you can't really do these two like the others because obviously they line up the holes for the bracket, which I then couldn't line up with that one tight. So let's get this in. Ten. So we're going to need to go 1 and 2 again. I'm going to go around the lot again. 5. 6 back up here. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11 and 12 on the clutch lever. 11. 12. So I think the mistake that I made was trying to do it without adjusting the clutch down here. Just because I find it a faff. Adjusting clutch cables is a faff. That feels good. Tighten this up. Don't need it super tight. Ideally you want all your adjustment on your clutch, on your lever, rather than down here. So for future adjustments, you just turn it on your lever, okay? So that feels good now. Just can't remember what the clutch lever was like prior. Right. Feels good, I'm happy. Crankcase housing. New gasket. The dowels are mainly on there. Yep. So we'll stick it on here. In there. I mean, this one you shouldn't really be able to get wrong. He says there's a bit of gasket stuck on the thing, so I'll clean that off first. It's not too bad. Just one bit. So, ready for crankcase housing now. So what I need to do, I need to go back onto my conversation with Paul Simmons, who makes the clutch plates, pressure plates, whatever they are. And he sent me the photos. Tighten the fixings 1 to 8 in the sequence shown to 10 Newton meters. If it'll load, focus, load. Let's go for it. 10 Newton meters again. Yep, perfect. So we want number 1 first, which is not the very bottom one, but the one up to the left.